Hello everybody and welcome back to Tales of Arise. On the last episode, we found the starship that Alphen traveled in. We went on its way back to Dana. And we went up to Lenegus. So now we're supposed to be trying to find this restricted place that only a sovereign can enter. To see what's up. I can't wait to see what's gonna happen though. Because we're basically in one of the rented home world. Kinda. And we're definitely not getting through this place without a fight. Wow, it looks like it's in chaos. Lenegus. It's on fire. Or we're smoking. I don't think that's normal.
What in the world?
This being Renan territory, I was prepared for a lot of things to look different. But this is a bit more than I anticipated.
The very foundations of the city have shifted. What could have caused this?
Maybe the thing transformed?
Shape. It must have had an effect on the interior, too.
Maybe when they sent the wedge down to Dana?
But they wouldn't move around the places where people live. These are their homes, right?
I would think the citizens themselves didn't have much say in the matter. Either way, locating the Forbidden Zone just became that much trickier.
Dohalim? Is that you?
Avakir, I'm glad to see you're well.
So it is you! But why are you here? Shouldn't you be down on Dana participating in the crown contest? And these people!
So you haven't heard what happened on Dana, then?
Heard what?
Someone you know?
An old friend.
Hey, Dohalim, don't tell me you've started keeping company with...
They're with me. More importantly, what's happened here?
I'm really not sure. The city's foundations began to shift without warning, and now everything looks like this. We're all waiting for the Sovereign to tell us what's happening, but so far...
Avakir, listen to me. We're looking for the Forbidden Zone. Do you have any idea where we might find it?
The Forbidden Zone? What business could you possibly have there?
Trust me. The less you know, the better.
You're just the same as ever. I wish I could help, but what with the changed topography, I can barely locate my own home. Let alone the Forbidden Zone.
Very well. It looks like we'll have to find the way there ourselves.
Have you seen Faria yet?
No.
I see. Well, nothing much has changed with her. If anything, she's probably even more...
I can well imagine.
Why did you come back? You know it can only result in pain for you both.
I've no doubt of that.
You really are the same as ever. Fine, I understand. Just don't say I didn't warn you. And take care of yourself. Okay, Do?
I think it's time for you to face your past.
So who's Faria?
Law?
If what Avakir said is true, it would seem the people of Lenegus are being kept in the dark about what's happening down on Dana.
They seem to be just as clueless about what's going on up here in their own world. Despite the fact that it's actually here that the wedge originally came from.
We need more information. Let's talk to the citizens, see what we can find out.
While we're at it, we can ask them about the Red Woman, too.
And don't forget about finding the way to the Forbidden Zone either.
Just don't expect them to be respected.
We can't have a bunch of Danins poking their noses around.
Good idea. I think that's for the best.
I shall assist.
You sure?
Being a
He
lord
should.
of Lenegis has its advantages.
Right. Then we'll leave it to you two.
Let's see what's up.
Among us should probably keep our heads down.
Let's transform. The resident quarters is falling apart.
I shall explain it away by saying I'm leading you.
What are we, dogs?
You'll just have to deal with it for now. This is the Renin home world.
Oh, dear me. What an unspeakable mess this has all become. Just look at the state of our city. Even the Zeugles have stopped heeding our commands. Whatever did we do to deserve this?
You really have no clue what might have caused this?
Would that I have. Alas, there was no warning, no prior decree. His Highness must have deemed it unnecessary for us to know. We have no choice but to grin and bear it.
Are they talking about
Do
Volron?
my eyes deceive me? Could I really be standing in the presence of his lordship, Dohalim of the House Ilkaris? I believed he was on Dana.
Your eyes do not deceive you. It is I, one and the same. I have returned to fulfill a special duty, the details of which I cannot divulge.
As your lordship wishes. First Lenegis mutates beyond recognition, now this unexpected visit. The Sovereign's plans are
Okay.
inscrutable indeed.
Yeah, they're definitely talking about Volron. Remember, his body disappeared.
The Ilkaris house has produced a great many lords over the centuries. I shall be praying for your victory in the latest crown contest.
Your good wishes do me an honor.
He really is big here. Oh, taking that. Oh, this is some strawberries. Am I hearing healing arts? In all my years, I've never seen such a potent healing art. Thank you so much for taking the time to help an old woman like me. Ooh.
Everything will be okay now.
I know the basics of healing arts, but my skills pale in comparison.
It's definitely the red woman that's caused this. It has to be, right?
Your lordship! Oh, what a great honor it is to finally meet you. I descended to Dana during the last crown contest also. Alas, when the contender I was backing failed to clinch the title, I returned. I witnessed the deaths of so many slaves.
Indeed.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're looking for a woman dressed all in red. Have you seen anyone of that description?
I don't think Renin...
No, I can't say I remember anyone like that.
I don't think Renins can
I
see her.
imagine she'd stand out somewhat, too.
Yeah. What about down on Dana during the crown contest? You didn't see anyone like that hanging around the lord you were serving?
What's with all these questions? I've never seen her, okay? Not recently or otherwise. Why do you want to find her anyway?
Never mind. Forget I asked. Sorry to take up your time.
He could have been a little bit more receptive, but what do you expect? We're on right now. Well, we're on Lenegis.
Is everything okay? You look a little lost.
Oh, yes. I can't seem to find my way home is all. I was just about to make my umpteenth attempt at a new route.
I was hoping to head this way myself. The situation is a real pain, huh?
I suppose the Sovereign knows best. I daren't stay here too long, though. A lower caste can only linger around these parts for so long before I outstay my welcome. I was hoping to avoid it, but maybe I'll have to go that way after all.
You mean you know another way round?
Lord Dohalim Ilkaris! But how? Last I heard, you were in Dana competing in the crown contest.
Yes, strange, isn't it? If you know another route, we'd be grateful if you could tell us.
But of course. Please forgive me. There's a wall that sprung up ahead of here, with what looks to be an entrance in it. I thought maybe it was a passageway between the different quarters, but I've no way of knowing for sure.
It's worth investigating, at least. I shall go and assess the situation. In the meantime, wait for me here. If it looks safe, I'll come and let you know.
You'd really do that for me? A lord troubling himself for someone of my lowly status?
Our lot in life is of little consequence. We are both Renan, first and foremost.
Oh, why yes, my lord. Thank you.
Well, we've canvassed the city for information. What do you think?
No one has the faintest idea what's happened to the city after all. They haven't heard the news about the crown contest either.
You'd think that info would easily find its way up here. Has it always been like that?
Not to this extent, which would indicate that something's suppressing the truth, that Lenegis is under some kind of control.
Given everything that's happened to their city, the people here seem weirdly okay with it all.
Yeah, that one guy even said his Zoogle had stopped listening to him. If that's true, these people are in big trouble.
Everything that happens here is attributed to the Sovereign's will. It's the way people have been conditioned. Their belief runs deep. Nothing happens devoid of a reason. To them, it's all part of the Sovereign's grand plan.
The Sovereign's plan. There is one thing I'm still not sure about. Just who is this person ruling
not
over
for.
Lenegis?
The Sovereign, of course. He rules from Rena while presiding over both Rena and Lenegis.
Without the lords or anyone in the middle doing his dirty work? Isn't Rena at least the same size as Dana? That's a pretty big dominion for one person to rule over. I would have thought ruling Lenegis alone would be difficult enough.
The points you make are valid, though I confess I'd never given it much thought before. Here, the Sovereign's total authority is as natural as night turning to day. Come to think of it, I know nothing of the nature of how Rena itself is. Shion, have you ever been... No, forgive me. Have you met or crossed paths with, or even heard of someone who's actually made a visit to the homeland?
No, I haven't.
Neither have I. In which case, I would imagine that... But no, surely not. Can it really be that no citizen of Lenegis has ever been there?
Hold up, what are you getting at, Dohalim?
Assuming what I believe to be correct, it's possible that no one on Lenegis has ever laid eyes on the actual Renan homeworld itself. No one but the Sovereign, that is.
But what about trade and communication? There's got to be a flow back and forth, surely.
Not if the Sovereign is imposing his will on Lenegis single-handedly. It could be a one-way street.
But I thought you said that the Sovereign's all the way over on Rena. If that's the case, can he really rule directly over Lenegis from so far away? What if something were to happen to the city, like now?
I'm beginning to wonder what the nature of this Sovereign even is. Alphen said he was forced into the role, right? Just before the ceremony. But Sovereign is also the title given to the almighty Renan ruler. So which one is it?
Whoever wins the crown contest inherits the throne from his or her predecessor, before becoming ruler over all of Rena and Lenegis. Thereafter, that individual is known as the Sovereign. Though, it would appear that the current ruler has gone silent. As for how Volron factors into all this, at this point, I no longer know what to believe.
Right.
3 centuries ago, I became the Sovereign here on Lenegis. No, not just became, I was forced to. Me, a Danan. 300 years later, we cross paths with Volron, who also bears the Sovereign's crest. That's not the only thing we have in common. We both became Sovereign without winning the crown contest.
Do you think Volron was made sovereign for the same reason? Because of that ceremony?
I can't say for sure, but it certainly sounds like it.
So it seems like the sovereign doesn't have that much of a meaning.
At any one time. One whose job it is to rule, and the other for ceremonial purposes. We never did see Volron's body back in Ganeth Heros. Is a new ceremony underway with Volron at its center this time? Could that be what's causing all this strange activity here?
Wait a second. You don't think Volron and the Red Woman are working together, do you? The ceremony can't go forward without the Renis Alma. The same one that the Red Woman stole.
There's something else the ceremony needs. A maiden. And unless there's another one out there aside from me.
Questions, questions, and yet more questions. Ones that it seems will remain unanswered until we can establish the Sovereign's identity.
If the Forbidden Zone really is off limits to everyone but the Sovereign, that seems as good a place as any to start. For the sake of liberating Dana, too.
Then it's decided. That's where we need to go.
One of the citizens mentioned a passage that she thought might lead to another section of the city. It could point us in the right direction. Let's go find it.
Yeah, it's a mess, because what does that mean? Because Volron did not win a crown contest, so he's not the ruler.
I wonder what the people.
I thought Volron being a sovereign would mean that, but apparently not. So he just has the sovereign power.
I mean, their sovereigns up on the Renan homeworld, and all their lords were sent to Dana.
But Dohalim was a lord, right?
Only current acting lords have power. Renan society is quite strict about such matters.
Even if the other lords were still around, I doubt they'd be able to do much about the situation.
I wonder what they'd think if they were here to see Lenegis now. Balsif, Cannabelt, Almadria, and Volron. Now that I think of it, aside from Dohalim, we know next to nothing about the other lords.
Well, yeah, why would we? To us Danans, they were just enemies we needed to overthrow. Nothing more.
I know. But seeing Renans in their own city, going about their day-to-day lives, it gets you thinking.
It feels strange to imagine the lords living here too, you mean?
Yeah, a little.
If you're that curious about them, why not try inquiring with some of the locals? Every lord in their household has their share of supporters here on Lenegis. And luckily for us, the people here are unaware of the events on Dana, which means they should be more inclined to talk to us.
Oh. This is a side quest. Maybe we can knock this out real quick? I don't really wanna, but I do at the same time. You want to know which lord I support? Why? Are you out canvassing for someone? I'm with His Excellency... what? Oh, Lord Balsef. I know a lot of people consider him a giant brute, believe me. I realize he can be an aggressive man. What the people don't realize is how much he looks after the members of his house. It's fair to say that House Till whatever doesn't enjoy much esteem. And those of us who serve it will be the first to admit that. But His Excellency always stands up against any who would mean to us harm. Of that we can be sure. His efforts in the crown contest aren't only for his family, but to improve the standing of each and every member of his house. I owe so much to His Excellency, I can never dream of serving any other lord.
Balsef had it in him to care about someone other than himself? Really?
It's possible. A change in position can do much to alter one's perspective.
So even he might have had something he wanted to protect.
Oh, Dohalim, you have returned. I see, and you brought aides with you. Do you remember who I am, my lord? Surely you must, yes? Not only do I support House Il Quaris, and more specifically his lordship personally, so much so that I've been trying to share my appreciation of his lordship to any who will listen. In fact, I was planning to publish my extensive writings on the subject through this very terminal for all to read and enjoy. But since the lines here appear to be cut due to the recent tumults, I've been unable to upload them. I know, since you're here, I'll just read them out loud. No. There exists a most handsome man, a man who radiates beauty, whose every word, every syllable is divine poetry. He hails from the famed house of Quarus, and his name, Lord Dolahim. Music is his passion, and art his great love. The scores of forest, uncouth men of this land cannot begin to compare to his magnificence. So refined and majestic is his posture, why the mere thought of it brings me to ecstasy. Once he becomes our sovereign, Renan shall bloom anew, ushering in an era of prosperity for our grand civilization. Until that glorious day comes, I shall forever be praying for his victory, morning, noon, and night. Well, what did you think, my lord? I've heard in my whole heart and hoping it would capture your essence. Wait, I forgot to mention anything about his lordship's love for collecting things. I must take this time while the lines are down to append it. Only then will my masterpiece be complete. God.
I guess she intended to spread it throughout all of Lenegis then.
Good thing the lines were down so she couldn't.
It almost sounded like she was praising them too.
Maybe there was more to the guy than at first glance.
I shall refrain from commenting.
Valkyris. What do you want? Don't tell me you work for Lord Dolahim or that dreadful Lord Almadria, do you? You don't? Well, don't scare me like that. To answer your question, I come from a family that has served House Valkyris for generations. Yeah, I thought so. Indeed, I'm going to do all I can to support Lord Ganabel behind the scenes so that he might emerge victorious. Many think him to be a cruel man, but I insist they're utterly mistaken. Though I won't deny he can be strict, he puts Renan's interests front and center like no one else. Why he advocates that rather than stay confined to Lenegis, we should get on with colonizing Dana and expand our horizons. That way, we will become masters of both worlds and overturn the current minority status on Dana's surface. And that is why he seeks to become the next sovereign. Tell me, is there a greater, more noble ambition than that? I think not. It is the pursuit of power for advancement of all our kind, is what makes him an exemplary lord, a model above all others. Though I was unable to accompany him myself, my two sons have been blessed with the honor of joining him on the surface. As their father, it fills me with endless pride. Yeah, they're probably dead.
Ganabel
Sorry
was
about
so
that.
horrible to people. Yet he was invested in helping Rena succeed. Doesn't that seem just a little inconsistent?
I'm perhaps biased in this matter, I admit. However, in my mind, while all lords vie to become the next sovereign, they're also meant to serve as guardians of all of Rena.
It seems like Ganabel also had people he cared about until the very end.
So why couldn't he extend that to us Danans?
Because you're a means to an end. You're not Renan. It's no different from when other countries conquer other countries. They do it to expand their own and seize power. It's so dumb.
This area doesn't look as badly damaged as that other district we went through.
Indeed, the effects of Lenegis's transformation appear to be less pronounced here. Or, viewed another way, this area was simply luckier.
Pardon me.
This area falls under the sole jurisdiction of House. I'm not even going to try. I must ask you to part at once. Surely you don't claim to be ignorant of our famed house, ruled over by the esteemed Lord Almadria? If so, I urge you to listen well. In fact, I bid you listen carefully, regardless. Have you ever noticed how the history of Lenegis, only a few women lords have emerged to compete at the crown contest? Many have theories as why this might be, but Lord Almadria quashed the doubts of any naysayers through sheer might. In fact, not only did she usurp her father and previous family master, she also removed her older brother to claim the seat for herself. She is a woman who stops at nothing to get what she wants, who gives her enemies nary the slightest opening to strike. Truly, Lord Almadria is a woman of talent. No one in all Rena better exemplifies the virtues of our nation. Not even going to try it. Soon the age of a glorious woman sovereign reigning over Lenegis shall be upon us at last.
Her willingness to stoop to any low came from a survival of the fittest worldview.
And some people here not only shared her belief, but championed it as morally right too.
that doesn't make it true. Too bad they couldn't see through her.
Yeah.
You saved my life. I would have been a goner had you not arrived with you, my lady. I understand we're in a crown contest, but I had no idea such a capable astral artist was in our midst. Please forgive me for not realizing it sooner. Come on, you don't need to bow so deeply. All I did was strike that Zoogl's weak point. I didn't even get to go down to Dana for the crown contest, so I'm not so sure how to feel about all this praise you're heaping on me. A woman with strong astral energy. What's funny is all those knights that got sent down because they had strong enough astral energy got steamrolled by the 6 of us. Oh, I'm sorry. We killed so many of your people.
Ridiculous.
How loathsome. Oh, I was just reading about Volaron. Can I help you? I was always an adamant supporter of Lord... No, not happening. Myself. Were it not for his sudden death down on the surface, I likely still would be. Also, he knows? In my eyes, Lord... Nope. Is a true Lord. Is a true Water Lord. I don't believe for a second that he perished in some accident, like they say. As for how Volaron runs Ganeth Harrows, don't get me started. I hear he enslaves not only Danans, but even his fellow Renans. We may live in a society where the victor goes to... to the victor goes to spoils, but his actions go against what we as a people stand for. Besides, just what sort of family line is the house? Nope, of his anyway. I've never heard of it until he came along, which means they must be among the lowest dregs of society. That such an inaugural lineage can suddenly reduce an astral artist capable of ascending to lordship is unheard of. None of it makes any sense. Not to mention all of this upheaval around here of late. What is happening to our people?
It seems like the people on Lenegis don't really know much about Volron either.
I can't walk.
I remember
Okay.
being quite surprised when the Lord of Ganeth Harrows changed so abruptly.
Didn't you have any doubts that something suspicious was going on?
On the contrary, remember, we Renans are raised to accept everything at face value.
When you think about it, the families of Renan lords must see them differently than the rest of us.
Yeah, despite the brutality they're known for.
They must have had a lot on their shoulders, carrying all the weight and responsibilities of Renan society.
Renans live in a world where strength and power determine their position in the social hierarchy, so they tend to grow up fiercely competitive. But their loyalty to their people is also strong. It's what brings them together against outside forces, and nothing exemplifies that more than the Lords.
That's what makes them the guardians of all of Renna, so to speak.
Right. It's the same reason Balsif hated my guts, and Ganabelt went after you. Because we're threats to Renna.
Guess that makes you an even bigger oddball than we thought.
So, Alphen, have you gained anything from all of this?
Yeah. I think it's made me realize that the Lords were all people, too. Balsif and the others, they all had their own circumstances to deal with as they went through life.
Yeah, but still, just because they had loved ones in their lives doesn't mean...
I know. What they did was horrible. I'm not trying to dispute that. But at the same time, they weren't incomprehensible monsters either. They were individuals, just like the rest of us. So I guess what I'm trying to say is...
You're saying that they weren't bad because they were Renans, or because they were terrible monsters. Even if they did terrible things, they were still just people.
Renwell.
Am I wrong?
She's blushing.
Not at all.
Being a Danan doesn't make you a good person. And being a Renan doesn't...
Deadeye was a good example of that.
I think that's something we've all seen.
And Dolahim's a good example of that.
Definitely make a good case for it.
And I'm going to keep doing my best to make sure I earn that trust. As a fellow human being above all else.
I don't know if I'd call you all human. Ooh, SP. Alright, let's proceed onwards.
I'll take that.
There's something I just don't get.
What is it?
The crown contest itself has always gone ahead as planned, right? In which case, the current sovereign of Rena should be whoever it was that won the previous contest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, who was it then?
Hanfried Milgras, the former lord of Cislodia, if memory serves.
So then this Hanfried whatchamacallem, he's the current ruler of Rena?
The last I heard, yes. Though, admittedly, I haven't actually seen him since the end of the previous contest.
You're saying that ever since becoming sovereign, he's never actually shown himself on Lenegis?
I guess over holocom maybe, but not in the flesh. Same thing goes for the sovereign that came before him.
Now that you mention it, I don't recall anyone ever visiting Lenegis from the motherland, sovereign or otherwise.
And that never struck you as a little bit odd?
When you live here, it's as if you're conditioned not to notice all these strange quirks and discrepancies. The question is then, by whom? And to what end?
A new Renis Alma is supposedly created to coincide with every crown contest, meaning each victor is awarded their very own. In other words, if that's true, there should be as many of the things out there as there have been contests.
True, but going on what we witnessed in Pelagian, it didn't look like the sort of thing that could be made to order. But if even the victor's speeches have been part of some grand deception, then where are they? Quite frankly, I'm not even sure what to believe anymore.
You and me both. Though we are Renin by blood, neither of us even knew that such a thing as a Dark Master Core existed, remember?
With any luck, the Forbidden Zone might give us some answers.
No use standing around here chatting about it then. Let's get a move on.
Yes, let's. My food buff's wearing itself out. And I got a large boost timer on these. Even though I'm pretty sure my food buff doesn't matter here. Mostly.
Doe?
Faria.
Varia? Isn't that the person that Avakir guy was...
But why are you here? Wait. Don't tell me you've given up on the crown contest and come crawling back home from Dana already. Nothing to say? Even though you were willing to kill Tarnigan to secure your position as Lord, you still...
Kill?
I'm here to take care of something. If you wish to continue this conversation, I only ask that you wait until I'm finished.
Oh, of course. You always did prefer to take the coward's way out. Even after 7 years and living on that Danon rock, you haven't changed one bit. But let me tell you, I haven't changed either. Not a day's gone by the past 7 years that I haven't hated you.
If killing me will bring you peace, then so be it.
Dohalim, what the hell are you saying?
First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek, I will grant you it. But you must wait. My sins are legion. Let me finish what I came to do. Then you have my word. I will let you do whatever brings you peace.
Sure, that's it. Run away like always. You don't even have the courage to die. No wonder you leave it to someone else. You're just a coward!
I think she's just insane. And there's that woman. She can't even... 7 years and she blames him for what happened. He would not stop. He was trying to kill Dohalim.
I apologize that you had to witness that.
Is it true? What she said about you killing someone?
Each of us have our pasts. I am no exception.
Before, back in Menancia, you mentioned having taken a friend's life over the throne. Is that what she meant?
mistakes I made there were not my first, and may not be my last. I will say no more.
Did you mean what you said? About letting her take your life if she wanted to?
She has more right to my life than anyone.
But you can't just...
Whatever happens, I have sworn to put an end to the crown contest, and to ensure continued coexistence in Menancia. I have no intention of expiring before I do so. There are far too many questions I still seek answers to. Besides, you have just as much reason to kill me as she does.
Dohalim!
Forgive me. Some things are best left unsaid.
No, I think her whole thing is insane. I mean, I understand because what was it? I don't know who he was to her, but he said he was basically, there's basically no way he was gonna beat Dohalim, and he wouldn't quit. He just wouldn't give up, and he was trying to kill Dohalim, sword in hand. I think it looked like he had wind astral energy on it. Dohalim wasn't just gonna stand there and get cut down. But he didn't want to kill him either. But she should have known that it was a chance. The other thing that bothers me about that is just like, I have something that I'm here to take care of first. He basically says, if you want to kill me, then do it. But you'll have to wait until I finish what I came here to do. He's like, you're just a coward. You don't even have the courage to die. It's like, lady, I literally just told you, fine, kill me, but you have to wait. I have something to finish first, and then you can do whatever it is you're trying to do. Like, I'm not gonna just let you kill me now and disrupt the mission I'm sent on. Wait till I'm so dumb. It's not gonna happen. Like, the society is stupid, but she should really learn how to deal with that whole thing that she's got going on. She needs help.
Wow, this place is beautiful.
Yeah, it must be some sort of rest and leisure area for the locals.
You think?
Looks like a park.
Man, these Renan sure know how to live it up, don't they?
Is something the matter, Dohalim?
Before I went down to Dana, my friends and I, we used to gather at this very spot and play music together.
So what are you doing all the way over there by the fountain?
Faria and Tarnigan. That was a lifetime ago now.
Tarnigan. He was the one that Faria mentioned, right?
He was once my dearest, closest friend. As well as Faria's betrothed. Despite Faria's lower-class upbringing, she possesses a tremendous talent for music. Entranced by her playing, I helped her overcome her sense of inferiority and introduced her to Tarnigan and Avakir. It was a time of great joy. 4 people bound only by their love of music, with no care for social standing. Only the next song, the next melody.
A friendship based on mutual respect, and a society where everyone is a prisoner to their social class. You really are different, Dohalim.
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
I would have, once. Now, I think the idea of breaking away from society's constraints and choosing your friends based solely on affection is something beautiful that's worth cherishing. Besides, it was that way of looking at the world that laid the foundations for coexistence in Menancia.
Your praise does me too great an honor. I was merely following the wishes of my own heart. And even then, it only lasted until the crown contest began. After that, Tarnagan and I became fierce competitors for the position of Lord. Tarnagan had fallen for Faria. By becoming Lord, he aimed to wrest her from her humble origins and raise her to the highest echelons of society. But fate was not so benevolent.
What happened?
Tarnagan was no match for me in combat. On a level playing field, he wouldn't have stood a chance. But he was desperate and low on options, and he couldn't stand the thought of defeat.
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win, right? But then why does Faria think... Wait, don't tell me she doesn't know.
How could I tell her? Combined with the trauma of losing her beloved, and by her friend's hand, no less, she would have been devastated.
So instead you let her go on hating you, so she could use that hate as a crutch for her grief?
That's not the same as running away, though.
It is exactly the same. Unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty, instead I decried my fate and looked away from what I'd done. As for what happened after, that you already know.
But if you hadn't become Lord, Menancia wouldn't be what it is now. The Danans there would still be suffering under Renan oppression like before.
No, because we would have killed the Lord by now.
Shion's right. What other Lord would have treated me as you did? Anyone else and I would have been dead long ago. You've saved so many people, Dohalim. You saved me. It's thanks to you that I'm here today. So, try not to blame yourself. The burden you've placed on your own shoulders is too much for anyone to bear.
Frank as always. But I shall do my best to heed your advice.
Do you think he'll be all right?
Yeah, I think so. He's
He'll be
got
fine.
Kisara.
It's important to have someone like that.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
Sometimes just knowing someone's on your side can be enough. And he knows, Shion. I promise he does.
I hope you're right. Alphen,
Yeah?
I never appreciated until recently just how much you were always there to support me.
It goes both ways. You've helped me keep going more times than I can count.
Maybe, but I still wanted to say thank you.
I see a medic and supply officer over there. If they know you're with me, they'll likely offer their assistance.
The only thing that's bothering me roughly right now is the fact that we're 44 minutes in and we haven't done anything but talk to people. What do you have? That's what I want to know. What are we sacrificing? For some resistance. Okay. Why not? Overall upgrade. That's an overall upgrade. I already have one. And... alright, that's an overall upgrade. What to cook? I do have an elemental defense M.
Done. This is sure to give the others some much-needed energy.
Wait, was that the protein shake thing that we made? The vitamin smoothie. Ugh.
What's wrong, Law?
Why do I gotta have a vitamin smoothie?
Because you've been eating nothing but meat lately. Your body needs vegetables to stay healthy.
Yeah, but does it have to be so concentrated?
It's better that way. Even if you hate vegetables, all you have to do is drink it. It's a quick and easy way to get more nutrients.
Like you're one to talk. You'll have anything as long as it's spicy.
Which that vitamin smoothie isn't. I know its taste leaves a little to be desired, but once you get used to it, it's not so bad.
This sludge isn't gonna make me less hungry.
I don't know. If you downed 10 of them, I bet you'd start feeling pretty full.
Are you trying to turn me into an herbivore or something?
If I were you, Law, I'd drink it down sooner rather than later. It's going to start tasting bitter if you let it get warm.
It's already bitter when it's cold.
Come on, Law. It's good for you. Quit complaining and drink it already.
I definitely prefer meat to over most things, but I mean, if I have them handy, I will eat my vegetables. I mean, that's just kind of how I am. But let's be real. My main diet is sugar. If it's sweet, I'm all for it.
Lenegis soldiers.
Any way we can avoid fighting them?
That all depends on them. Whatever happens, be ready.
Well, so much for them not wanting to fight.
Host, I am Lord Dohalim of Elden Menencia. I command you.
Threats to the city must be erased.
No. Have they been brainwashed too?
Brainwashed or not, if they want to fight, they got one.
That's right. And I won't let you off easy.
Demons descend! Flashing fang! Radiant fire support! Mission! Finish it! Demons descend! Flashing fang!
Lenegis soldiers.
Those soldiers seem different from the citizens we've come across so far.
Yeah, they weren't big talkers, that's for sure. They just attacked without warning.
They weren't in the least bit fazed by Dohalim's presence either.
Indeed. They seem to recognize us as enemies, nothing more. And yet, traditionally, Lenegis hasn't been high on threats. A few frenzied Zeugles during experiments here and there, but not much else.
Their glazed-over eyes reminded me of the soldiers and slaves we met back in Ganath Harros. The ones in blind devotion to Volron.
I've never seen anything like that here on Lenegis before.
Maybe someone doesn't want us here, and the soldiers are their way of letting us know.
Duh.
The Red Woman, the Sovereign, and Volron. You're starting to develop quite the growing list of adversaries. At least we'll know to keep our wits about us.
It also means we're going the right way.
Hey, look at that enemy!
Looks like trouble with a capital T!
Together, we've got this!
You thought I wouldn't recognize that you are all like this?
These ones can run rings around us!
They would be able to normally. But now, most of them are just nice little adorably fanged punching bags. Is it though? Ooh, you shouldn't have done that. Too bad I already hit you. Jumping back didn't save ya. Next. Ah, the Alpha, who thought it was a really good idea to attack me. How'd that work out for you, buddy?
been doing really great lately.
That doesn't look like a friend.
No choice.
No, no, no. Sit it down.
Double demon fang. I'll finish you here and now. Time to cross blade. First strike. I'm on a roll now. Double demon fang. You're wide open.
You want to try that again? Oh. Yeah, I guess I kind of did walk right into that, huh? I really hate when that activates sometimes. Stop doing that, Law. I only pressed the button once. Where are you going? No, ain't none of that. Nope. Sit it down. Alphen. Sarah.
Now I'm in the groove. Watch this.
That's the best you've got. You're in for a rough time. Well, he's a dead one.
Flashing fang.
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor.
Might be able to make new armor soon.
An opponent like this should be easy.
Dole Healing.
Nothing gets by me.
Not in your dreams.
Locked and loaded.
I can't let the hatred consume me.
Its armor's too strong.
Not anymore.
Fire support. I'll finish you here and now. Double demon fang. Hurricane. I'm on it. Glimmer dragon. It was nice while it lasted.
I'm surprised that wolf could even hit me that high in the air. Fine. You want to go? Join your friend in Oblivion.
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
He definitely needs some nice airtime to land that one. Ooh, shortcakes. Nice. They're full of evasive enemies, though.
Right, here goes.
Just as well, Dolahim. What are you doing? Oh, that's cute. He thinks it's a good idea to attack me. Get away from Rinwell. No one attacks my mages.
And I'll stop your life.
Nice. Yep. No scratches on my shield or my arm.
Let's see. So how do I get over there? It's right across from me. So
Seem to have any qualms about attacking on sight.
Is someone making...
look, I don't have time to listen to y'all talk.
Ignite.
There's your help.
Eat this. Take this.
Water, here
I'm on it. I'm just getting
I
started.
think I'll pass on the handle. Here's the evil.
Double
I'm
demon
in
fang.
trouble.
Swallow this.
Winds of heaven.
Now I'm real mad.
Here's a hero.
Mmm.
I'm just getting started. I'll crush you.
Maybe don't all group up in front of the enemy. I mean, that seems like a sure way to die. Alphen. Oh, I thought I had a dodge.
you hear it now? Should have messed with me. Double demon fang. You're wide open.
Whoops.
I'll crush you.
Looks like you messed up.
Lightning reflexes. Tenebrous claw. Run well. Demon.
Really won't let you kill them. I noticed the damage stopped going up. Really won't let you kill them without those.
I'm practically unstoppable.
Okay. That's the way to go, so let's go the opposite direction. Ooh.
Gotta break through. No.
That's a
I really
It's like trying to keep up with a wall.
you know, it helps if you go the right way, Law.
Another one? I'm on a roll now.
A wailing dance shield. Let me help. Sleep now.
Do it! Kisara! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life. Too slow.
Here comes.
Talon Hurricane. Double demon strike.
Now.
Look sharp. Lightning Tiger Blade.
Nicely done.
Wait, were those all like level 1? Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. Some red sage. I think sage is health, right? I don't think I'm gonna make it to those enemies before this gauge runs out. I might just barely. Nah, I don't think so.
Go no further.
In a bind.
Now run well.
Freeze Lancer. Feel. Healing art.
A showdown between blade and fist.
She must stand
I'm on.
Here's the healing art. In here. I'll be saving you.
Ow. That all you've got?
Coming through.
Allison's just over here trying to steal my spotlight,
Scarlet Inferno.
which just messes up my art. He is spamming Demon Fang. I guess I can't blame him. I mean, I've never seen him use Demon Fang that much.
Let's dispose of the trash.
Come on now.
You're wide open. Incineration wave.
If you won't bow out now, then you leave me no choice.
I've been telling Law to dodge for the longest time, but I think he just got boxed in.
In a bind.
It's fine, because now it's time to get serious.
Lightning reflexes. Tenebrous claw.
Oh, you've got shields. Welcome to the party, then. We don't deal with those here. Oh, no, no. Shields are illegal. What? Oh, because he was, like, in the air.
Need to pull myself together. Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look
What?
who's in a bright and shiny mood.
This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
But it's just a wall. How do we get through?
Whoa, we? I thought this was Sovereigns only.
Alphen.
Yes! It opened!
Interesting. If Alphen's presence still opens the way, it would seem the Sovereign of 3 centuries ago and now are considered one and the same.
What?
What the?
That astral energy? Looks like light, though. Hey, memories.
Alphen.
You again.
Tomorrow's the spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our parts as the Sovereign and Maiden. How have you been feeling?
What am I sovereign of? Shuffled from lab to lab, always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Dahnan. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for, let alone what they're going to force me to do as the Sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice. Becoming the Maiden's not something I wanted for myself. But they said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How could I say no after that?
Still, as a Renan, at least you got to decide. Good for you. Meanwhile, I was taken from my homeland. You aren't the captive one here.
It isn't right what they did to you, and I'm sorry for what it's worth. When this is over, I swear I'll help you get home. I can't do this alone. One more day.
How could I say no to that? It's not like I have any choice in the matter anyway. So, what's your name?
It's Naori. Naori Imaris. Try to remember this time.
You don't act like them. Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are. It's true we come from different worlds. But neither one of us asked to be here right now. In that sense, you and I are much the same. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people if we didn't see the humanity in each other. So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
You're not like the others.
Maybe they're not like me.
Here's what we'll do. We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dana. That'll be the end of it. I'm taking you at your word on this. I'm trusting you, not them. Naori.
What the hell just happened?
That vision. Did everyone else see it too?
That person Alphen was speaking to, she looked exactly like Shion.
It was Naori. Naori Imaris. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
She really does look like Shion. I'm beginning to see why Alphen was so confused.
That's all very well and fine, but what did we just witness exactly? It was too real to be a mere hallucination.
It was a conversation we had 300 years ago. The night before the ceremony.
You mean all of that really happened? We just saw an episode straight out of your past?
But how is that even possible? Unless... Could this be the Red Woman's handiwork too?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
You guys didn't feel it? The moment the entrance opened, it was like a stream of Dahnan astral energy rushing over us.
I felt it too. And not for the first time either. It was the same sensation as back inside the wedge.
That would make sense. After all, vast amounts of Dana's astral energy were being siphoned and sent up here to Lenegis. For all we know, perhaps we're close to the spot where all that energy was stored.
So you think it might have been the energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw? But how? And why?
We have no way of knowing. Maybe it's not even as deliberate as all that.
Shion, you okay?
Yeah, it was all just a little sudden, that's all. So that was my ancestor, huh? It was like looking into a mirror.
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
What about you? How are you holding up?
Me?
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, it's likely we'll see more of those. Reliving painful episodes from your past. Do you think you can handle it?
I can't just pretend like the past never happened. Besides, if it helps us uncover the truth of what that ceremony really was, it might also lead to answers about your thorns.
Alphen.
That's not all. This whole time, we've been fighting to free Dana from the Renans. But now that we're here, it seems those same Renans might have it just as bad. I'd like to liberate them too if I can. Which is just another reason I can't afford to shield my eyes from the truth.
Whether you're on Dana or somewhere else, you always stay the same. Your indignation and righteous passion, your desire to free and protect, they're all hardwired into you.
You can't say indignation like that, it's
Not
illegal.
that I'm complaining. Come on, let's bust this thing wide open.
Nobody's here.
Stay sharp. After that last illusion, there's no telling what could happen in here.
Ooh, look at that, a healing point and a star. What do we have here? Don't mind if I do. Mainly for the CP, our health was pretty much mostly full, I think. Usually though means we're in for a fight.
Faria, how did you get in here?
Wait, something about her isn't right.
What's wrong with her? She doesn't even seem to know where she is.
Yeah, you're right. She looks just like the soldiers we encountered outside.
That's a Dark Master Core. Ooh, this is interesting. Hey, look, its face is a core.
But that's preposterous. She never had that kind of power when—
We can talk later. Here it comes!
That's probably dangerous to her.
I've never known Faria to control Zoogles like that before.
How about with a stone that looks suspiciously like a master core?
Where did she get her hands on that?
First we handle the Zoogles, then we get some answers. Aim for their weak spot.
Oh, it teleports. Okay. Noted. Hey, I can't even move. Like, a minute I got up, I couldn't even move, and I just took all of that damage. That would have killed me. That's not cool. You will pay for that. Bring it! Come on. Tell me you've got more than that. Pathetic waste of space.
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
I'll heal you
Come on. Is that all?
Get toasty! Bird strike! Here, let me help. I'm on a roll now! Death blossom!
Dang it.
This is the win! It's about to strike!
Let it. Whoops, looks like you failed to catch your target. Whoops. You still couldn't get me, buddy, old pal. Hi, I'm behind you now. You missed, though.
I'll leave it to you. You're wide open. You're wide open.
Try harder. Alvin, let's wrap this up.
Glimmer dragon. Almost there. Close enough. Take it away, Law. I thought you'd never ask. Almost. Too slow. Now we're in the groove. Here comes something big.
Try to dodge!
I can do this all day.
Oh, you didn't do a great job of fully catching me with that. You want to try again? Ah, look, he's doing a little better.
Coming through.
Well, Alvin didn't appreciate it, and I was enjoying it.
Scarlet Inferno.
Well, buddy, looks like Alvin doesn't like you being alive anymore. So, you know how it is. We kind of have to, catch each other's backs, right? Let's take him down. You could have been tricky.
Now it's just her.
Faria, can you hear me? Faria!
She's preparing another summoning!
The art she's casting is way too powerful to control. At this rate, her body
was right.
won't be able to take much more.
It's dangerous for her.
Forgive me.
Man, I thought we were goners.
Everything okay?
Yes. She's only unconscious.
Not her. I meant you.
Shion, please. Can you treat her?
I can try, but I can't promise she'll be back to her real self when she wakes up. All I can do is heal her physically.
We're not even supposed to be in here. Maybe it'd be better if we moved her to somewhere a little safer. Don't you think?
In that case...
I'll take her off your hands.
You?
Avakir, what are you doing here?
I was curious what you were up to, so I took the liberty of following you to find out. I overheard what you said about Tarnigan, about how he really died. I'm sorry, I had no idea.
And you believed me? What makes you so sure I wasn't lying?
I like to think I know you a little better than that, Dohalim. Give me some credit. I'll take Faria. Leave her with me. I know better than to ask what you're up to. But whatever it is, I hope it all works out.
Thank you.
He seems like a good friend.
He hasn't changed. He never was one to stand out. Instead, he was always hanging back, worrying about everyone else. As for Faria, it's always the closest to me who get hurt.
You don't seriously blame yourself for what happened to her, do you?
Somebody got to her, to strike back at me. Someone who knew me well enough to know that I'd hesitate to fight back. And the same goes for you as well. Neither you nor Faria would have lost loved ones if it wasn't for me.
You're wrong. Kelzelik was the one who killed my brother, under orders from Almadria. As for Tarnagin, if it weren't for the crown contest, he'd still be alive. That and the whole damn hierarchy that makes it possible. But that's why we're fighting. To put an end to this whole messed up system that treats people as expendable.
Indeed. Ridding society of this blight is really the only way I know how to atone for my sins.
You can't atone, Dohalim. I know it hurts to hear, but those people are dead. No amount of soul-searching or trying to make amends is going to change that. Forgiveness, acceptance, those ships have sailed.
So I just forget the harm I caused?
No, the opposite, in fact. You remember. You never forget. You keep it in your heart always. And then you go on living. Not for those already past, but for those still alive.
For those still alive.
Kisara's right. So long as we've still got breath in our bodies, we can make a difference in the lives of others. Lives being the operative word.
That's what living's all about. Being able to still make a difference. Punishing yourself for the past won't make the pain of your conscience go away.
Only fixing the problem in its stead. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. You have to live for tomorrow, Dohalim, not for yesterday. And not only that, you need to live for yourself, and for the change that you still can be.
I shall try.
Don't forget, we've still got a mystery to solve. The Forbidden Zone, remember?
Shion.
Huh?
Thank you. You have my deepest gratitude for what you did for Faria.
Glad to be of service.
The Master Core was gray, though. The Dark Master Core before was purple.
As well. I'm most grateful.
Right?
Oh, shucks. We're on the same team, right? Let's move on. What is it, Rinwell? Do you hear something again?
Yeah. It's that voice.
The will of Dana's astral energy.
Oh. Wait, this must be the ceremony.
What? There's so much astral energy. But where's it all coming from? It's almost like it's alive.
Thorns. That's not good. That's what happened. Was it the Rena's Alma then? that did that damage?
That was the spirit channeling ceremony just now. No, it was more than that.
What the hell was that? It felt like everything was on the brink of... like the whole world was seconds from...
Oblivion. It's the same vision as the one my thorns show me. A vision of impenetrable darkness that swallows up us and everything else.
An empty void. A nothing so complete and dominating that there aren't even words to describe it. The end of time.
The visions of the apocalypse you've been seeing. If I'd known how bad they were,
That didn't look that bad. That looked like just what happened
So,
before.
everything we just saw, those were Naori's memories, right?
That's right. It was as if her innermost thoughts were speaking directly to us. At least I know they weren't mine.
That power flowing into her. It reminds me of Shion's thorns. If they're what's responsible for all these visions she's been having, then maybe...
Maybe my thorns are made from that same astral energy?
If that is the case, we just found the missing link between your thorns and what happened here 3 centuries ago. No, more than a link. Perhaps even the very heart of the matter.
I've never felt astral energy so powerful. What was that?
If it's the same energy your thorns are made of, it must be dark astral energy, right? And isn't that something only Renans have?
Correct. Dark astral energy is possessed by Renans alone.
And when enough astral energy gathers together, it develops its own form of sentience. If so, maybe that complete oblivion is exactly what the Renan astral energy's will is wishing for. But why?
I don't know. Will can be a pretty vague thing to nail down. It's more of a feeling, just like the will of Dana.
But the will of Dana is made up of astral energy too, right? And if that's what's been showing us these visions... I don't know, should we really be getting so involved with this thing?
Dana's will would never want Oblivion.
But you can't say that for sure.
Cut it out, you two. Squabbling over theories will get us nowhere.
Let's keep moving. If it's Dana's will showing us these memories, then I'm as clueless about its motives as any one of us. But if it could lead us to the truth, then I want to find out more.
Shion's right. All we can do is keep going. If these really are Naori's memories we're watching, there could be truths in them I was never aware of. And I think they may be the kinds of truths I need to confront if we're going to keep fighting.
Think how much of that energy went through Alpha, and he probably did kill a bunch of people.
Finally,
that looked
we begin
vicious.
to understand what the thorns are.
What
Yes. And their source. A ceremony that occurred 3 centuries ago.
But we still don't know how to get rid of them. I just hope we can find a way.
So what? That those thorns went down the generation line?
So
I don't know about that.
The truth behind Shion's thorns, as well as my own past. I have to be ready to face anything. Whatever happens, I'm determined to save Shion and Dana. Nothing
They didn't expect me to turn back, right? No, I want to see this through.
Hold up, you guys.
What is it?
I want to look through that room over there. I'm curious what we'll find.
That's the room you visited in your past, right? Sure. We can check it out.
So what? This was the research facility. Then.
This looks like some kind of research facility.
A laboratory secreted away in the Forbidden Zone. Why am I past being surprised at this point?
Looks pretty deserted.
Let's check it out. It might give us a new lead.
I think I can make this work.
Well, can you make head or tail of it?
These are experiment records by the looks of it. Reams of them, dating back hundreds of years. Let's see. A composite being capable of controlling Danon astral energy so as to convert its molecular and elemental makeup. The creation of a governing central figure taking the form of a Danon. Codename Sovereign.
Sovereign.
Wait, there's more. Research into utilizing force field crystals for the purpose of stable astral energy containment. That must be the Master Cores. With all this raw data, there's bound to be records here somewhere about the Maiden and the Lords, too.
About the Lords? Why would they be on there?
Think about it. The Lord's crests are clearly of a piece with those of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. Not to mention the fact that the contenders to the crown are selected from otherwise regular Renan citizens. In other words, it may be that all Renans are unwittingly being made subject to some kind of grand scheme.
What about the Sovereign? Does it say anything else?
Where do I start? All I've read so far is the headlines. There's so much here. To sift through all of it would require specialized... Wait.
What is it? Did you find something?
It's a list of names, with the title Test Subjects, Sovereign. It's your call.
Read it.
There must be dozens of test subjects listed here. Hundreds even. All of them failures. Wait, I think I've found one that was successful. Test subject number 1273. Ethnicity, NA. Unique adjustment index, generation, NA. Given name, Alphen.
They re-engineered me. Right here in this lab.
Alphen.
It's fine, really. What about the others? Was I the only one?
Test subject number 10105. Ethnicity, NA. Unique adjustment index, generation, NA. Given name,
Vron.
Volron? But that means...
He's only sovereign because someone made him that way too.
He's the last one. In 3 centuries worth of records, you and Volron are the only 2 subjects on whom the experiment was a success.
And thousands of people.
But what about the winners of the crown contests? Does this mean that none of them were ever crowned sovereign after all?
Upon victory, the Sovereign shall return to Rena and rule over Rena and Lenegis combined. When a new Sovereign is decided, the outgoing monarch shall relinquish their post and live out the rest of their days on Rena. So we were told. But according to these records, there have only ever been 2 Sovereigns, neither of whom had anything to do with the crown contest. It's all lies, including the part about the Sovereign residing in Rena. The crown contest was never about deciding a new ruler. It must always have been devised for some other purpose.
But even supposing that's true, someone must have been in charge for the past 3 centuries, right? If it wasn't the Sovereign, then who was it?
Crown contests have been held this whole time, in spite of the fact that there was already a Sovereign. Me. Meaning that for the past 300 years, someone out there has to have been maintaining that lie. The same person I'm willing to bet is behind all this.
The Red Woman?
It's possible. But that doesn't necessarily mean she's the mastermind behind this scheme. She could be working for someone else. Someone back on the Renan homeworld.
Either way, it's fair to say she's definitely involved somehow.
What about the data records? Is there no other information that could help us?
Not that I can see. Just file upon file of experiment results. There's nothing here about who's behind all this, or what their endgame is, unfortunately. I've barely managed to scratch the surface, mind you. You won't be able to read through it all, but you're welcome to take a look through what you can, while we're here.
I'll do that.
You sure? Because I would like to continue onwards, actually.
This is where Alphen became the Sovereign. And Volron as well. The significance of this location would suggest...
Hey, it looks like the terminals in here turned on too.
We should look through them. They might contain valuable information.
I just came back here to see if there was a chest or something. I didn't want to interrupt what he was saying. Sedative mask. Covers over his whole face that restricts their mental activity. It was developed for the purpose of pacifying prisoners. Medical applications are also recognized, practically as a means of preventing patients from sustaining mental trauma. However, doing so is not recommended, as prolonged use of the devices carries a risk of inducing a number of adverse side effects. Due to the loss of production facilities occurring in public litters. Okay, we know that's definitely what they use on. So the first one was the mask. The second one had to be Volron. And his how he was able to fully corrupt everybody in the city. This is that room he was in, right? A room unchanged for 3 centuries. It's like time itself has stopped here. Anything in here? No, just another one of these. You see a lot of numbers. Okay. Pointless. That's what this room is. And here it comes.
Naori,
Don't talk. I have to do this. I gave you my word that I'd help you return to Dana. The next time you open your eyes, you'll be home.
But you...
My place is here with my people. I still have a duty to fulfill. I'm sorry for what you've endured. Renan never should have dragged you into this. It's not your burden to bear.
But...
The mask contains a sedative. It should keep your mind from tearing itself apart any further. Let yourself go to sleep. This should help with the pain. Time to go, Alphen. Farewell.
Naori.
His injuries are worse than I thought. Short-term treatment isn't going to cut it. I'll have to switch the healing pod to long-term hibernation mode. The chance of surviving hibernation's less than 10%? And worse, long-term use of the mask carries a high risk of damaging his mind and nervous system. But... if I don't head back, Lenegis will be nothing but ashes, and this starship along with it. I don't know if I can fulfill my promise to you, Alphen. But if doing this will grant you even the slightest chance, I have to try.
His mind was fine. His nervous system wasn't working. Until the mask came off, and then it started working immediately again.
Please,
All his memories.
live for me, Alphen.
That vision. It must have been from when Naori helped Alphen escape Lenegis.
She sure went above and beyond the call of duty.
Even with Lenegis crumbling down around her, she chose to stay put with her people.
So that's why you lost your memories and sense of pain, and why you were asleep for that whole time. It was all the result of one agonizing decision Naori made to save your life.
Yeah. If it weren't for her, I wouldn't even be alive today. I owe her everything. More than I could ever hope to repay.
Now that you know how she felt, how do you plan on honoring her wishes?
She kept her promise. If the Renan people she fought so desperately to protect are at risk from a malevolent force, then I owe it to her to carry on her fight. Naori was the one who put that mask on me, and made me Iron Mask.
She did it to prevent your soul from tearing itself apart. She knew you might lose your memories and sense of pain as a result. But more than anything, she wanted you to survive. And you did.
300 years later. Ooh, flowers. Okay, there's two areas off the side here. Empty. Okay, what about over here? Not empty. A heavy treat. Okay.
This place. We've seen this in one of Naori's memories.
This is the place the ritual was conducted. The ceremony.
After 300 years, this is where it was held. The spirit channeling ceremony. This is where the Renis Alma was.
So this is the place where you and Naori...
The Renis Alma isn't here now. Nor is the Red Woman, it seems.
I know it's difficult, Alphen, but there will be time to dwell on the past later. For now, we need to keep moving. Come on.
Naori.
What is this? Is it the work of Dana's will again?
It's been a year since the ceremony. That day, I shut away inside of myself the power that caused Alphen to lose control. Since then, my visions of the future have grown more and more fearsome.
Is this another memory? No, it's different this time. It's like she's speaking directly
So
to
it's like
us.
she had those thorns, too. Or something like that.
We did back then. Not so much as a day passes when I don't think about it. About what was done to us. All in the name of a ceremony, the purpose of which we were never even told. As Sovereign, they linked Elfin's consciousness to Lenegis itself. The Renis Alma was intended to control his power, lest anything should slip through its cracks. That day, as Maiden, my role was to temper his power. I was meant to guide it forth, and give shape to the strength inside of him.
Linked to Lenegis itself? But then, everything that's been happening.
But that power showed me a vision. A vision of Oblivion. When I realized that vision was a prophecy of the apocalypse we were about to unleash, I couldn't go through with it. But without a maiden, the ceremony was doomed. Alfin lashed out, his consciousness no longer his own. I did what I could. Using my abilities as the maiden, I tried to seal that power away inside of me. But it was too late. Lenegis had already been brought to its knees. Thousands upon thousands of lives so cruelly snuffed out. All because of me. Because of what I had done. With the destructive force now slumbering inside of me, I knew I had to find a way to dispose of it. Anything to make up for my failure. But I didn't know how. Especially since that power was astral energy itself. In which case, ironically enough, the Renis Alma seemed to be my best bet. That, at least, would hold the astral energy dormant. Assuming that no malevolent third party got to it first. With the Sovereign and Maiden's combined power, perhaps I could shift the chaotic energy inside me into the Renis Alma instead. That's what I hoped, but alas, it was not to be. The Renis Alma was lost, and Alfin, the Sovereign, was in a starship bound for Dana. My only choice was to seal away the destructive force inside of me using my powers as the Maiden, to buy the world what little time I could. The time needed for a new Renis Alma to be crafted, and for a new Sovereign to appear. Even if by doing so, it meant I would be passing the curse on to my descendants as well. Please, forgive me. I never meant to burden the future world with this threat too. I only wish that there was something more I could have done.
Wait, you can't just...
Naori.
That message just now, was it directly from Naori? Or was it the Danon voice speaking through her?
Hey, the clothes from that second opening.
What?
These are the clothes that Naori and I wore during the ceremony 3 centuries ago.
So you're saying this is the Maiden's outfit?
That's right. These clothes are designed to resonate with the Sovereign and Maiden's abilities. They focus and enhance them.
And they appeared now because...
Naori must have left them here for the new Sovereign and Maiden, knowing the day would come when they would need them in their fight against the Thorns.
These outfits are directly linked to the answers we've been chasing this whole time. If they're here, it must mean it was Naori's will for us to find those answers as well.
Locating the Renis Alma would allow us to neutralize the dark astral energy inside Shion, thereby silencing her thorns. Is that what Naori's suggesting?
It makes sense. After all, Master Cores and Spirit Vessels are both able to prevent the astral energy inside them from developing sentience. By that logic, it would stand to reason that the Renis Alma would have the same ability on a larger scale.
We have a maiden in Sovereign. Now all we need is the Renis Alma, and we'll finally be able to free you of your thorns. Shion.
It's possible? You really think so?
I do. We can rid you of your thorns and stop the world from falling to oblivion.
However, the spirit channeling ceremony already failed once. Even if our goal is different this time, we can't be sure the same thing won't happen again. We should take care not to be too optimistic.
You're right. It's the barest sliver of a chance. But if there's even the slightest hope it can work, I'm willing to stake everything I've got on it.
I know it's too early to let myself feel relieved, but I just can't seem to help it. Just hearing there's the slightest chance, even though I know the world's still in great peril. It's selfish of me, I know, but still.
No, it isn't. You found hope to believe in. It'd be strange if you weren't over the moon about it.
Rinwell's right. We can rid you of your curse and still save the world at the same time.
Thank you.
Hear Hoodle's wings flapping.
Naori entrusted us with the fate of all humanity. Now, it's up to us to prove that trust was well placed.
Starting with a little game called Hunt the Renis Alma.
Yeah, we've come all this way. Now we just need to search Lenegis and Rena until we find it.
Yeah, we can protect the world and save Shion at the same time.
I too shall lend my services. My knowledge of Renan lore is bound to be a useful asset.
And they say modesty is dead.
I thought it was supposed to be chivalry.
Miracles just seem to follow wherever you go, huh?
How do you know it's me they're following? We're all in this together, Shion. You included. Now let's get moving, shall we? Last I heard, we had an apocalypse to stop. Thank you, Naori.
Oh, the thorns just passed down the generational bloodline.
Yeah,
interesting.
Power that made me lose control of myself. She stopped my rampage and saved my life. But then, that power she'd sealed away was passed down to you. I'm so sorry, Shion. It's my fault that you're cursed.
You're wrong. What happened to you was because of the ceremony and Naori's attempt to stop Oblivion. You paid a heavy price for it, and then fell asleep for 300 years. The reason you lost your memories
is the reason for your curse.
The thorns.
It all leads back to them. But once they're gone, we can finally put an end to all this.
When my thorns are gone, I never dared to dream that such a thing could be possible. No. The truth is, I think maybe I've always been dreaming about a life without my thorns. The touch of my family, or playing with my friends, holding hands with Rinwell, or giving Law a deserved smack.
I mean, you could do that anyway. It would just hurt more.
That people do together. I always wished I could experience them for myself, and finally know what they were like. Is it really okay for me to believe it can happen? I'm so scared of getting my hopes up. What if it doesn't work out in the end, and...
That's not going to happen. I'm here to make sure it won't. Forget fate or destiny or anything else. We're going to live a normal life. There are a lot of things you still want to do, right?
Yeah, you're right. It's such a strange feeling. I know that we've still got plenty of fighting up ahead. And it's for my sake. So I can live.
You're worth fighting for.
I believe you, Alphen.
Good. I'll keep on fighting. For as long as it takes. Until our future is finally in our hands.
That's all well, good, and great and everything. Like, that's awesome. However, dude, it's been like an hour and 50 minutes, and I feel like I just watched an interactive movie. I did, what, one short dungeon with one boss fight in that long of a time, and the rest of this was just watching them talk. It's like, my gosh. I'm glad to finally get some actual, like, story beats, but... ugh. Usually when he gets that stuff, it automatically, oh, hey, look, the art changed again. I'm of that mindset that I would have liked to have done more. But now I don't know what we're doing anymore. Okay, so we have to find the Renis Alma. Jeez. Like, I'm fine with getting a bunch of story, but I wanted more game, you know? Okay, I turned off my AC a while ago, and it's starting to actually get hot in here again, which is weird.
That's quite some door, all right. This might finally be it. The heart of the beast.
We'll find the Renis Alma and the Red Woman inside, right?
After everything we've been through to get here, they damn well better be.
We'll probably be needing you to open this one for us, Sovereign.
Go for it, Alphen.
Don't get me wrong, though. I have been enjoying it. It's just...
secrets are in store.
Oh, boy. I don't watch movies. I really don't. Not often. Like, very, very, very rarely. So, because for me, I gotta do stuff. Otherwise, my body doesn't know how to react. Because that's part of my ADHD. Like, I have to do something. My body just does not like me being emotionless. So even if I'm paying attention to something, like I'm reading something, my body physically also has to do something. It's just...
Volron! He really was still alive.
And there's the Renis Alma. Then, is this another spirit channeling ceremony?
Wait, though. Something doesn't seem right here.
Once more, the powers must be united. Born from the fires of chaos, the world does seek its rightful state. All must be sacrificed in the heart of Rena, at the shrine of the true sovereign.
What has happened to him? He's lost himself, reduced to a mere cog in a machine.
Hey, look! Over there!
Isn't that the Maiden's crest?
Can it be that this entire chamber is meant to act as a substitute for the Maiden?
It looks like it's still running, but are we already too late to stop the ceremony?
If that's what caused Lenegis' transformation, then the purpose of the ceremony must have been to drain all the astral energy out of Dana.
That would kill everyone.
For what purpose? What could possibly need astral energy on that sort of scale?
I don't know. But whatever it is, I'll bet it's connected to those visions of Oblivion. Regardless, we cannot stand by and let them steal Dana's energy. That said, we should retrieve the Renaissance, because right now, we need that most of all.
Why does he look so stiff?
You're not gonna lunge at us out of nowhere, right?
Not the time.
You should be...
The Red Woman! So we finally found you. I have a lot of questions for you.
Wait!
What?
They all have the same face? How is that even possible?
Ooh, aren't you just a bundle of fun?
Who the hell are they?
It can't... Are they even people?
Probably not.
It's hard to know for sure, but I think they're the true rulers of Rena.
They're not feeling...
Then you're the person that needs to go.
If we don't fight, we may as well be sitting ducks here.
Good point.
Alfred.
Before this gets out of hand.
Death Blossom!
Straight up failed that.
Damn! I'm on a roll now! Double teaming back! All fitted you hear it and watch it! Swallow dance! Double flaming shining! Yes! To be let free! Watch this! Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang! This one!
Alphen.
Hurricane! Hegemony! All fitted you hear it now! Swallow dance!
There's no point in you getting all angry now. They realize every time they throw out those rings, when they don't actually reach, they just literally give me a way to restore my AG.
Oh, now I'm real mad.
Far beyond the darkest sky.
I'll crush you!
Put a stop to that right now. She on.
I'll stop your movement.
And I'll stop your life! Too slow! Double Demon Fang!
Surrender! Fighting is useless now!
Do you think it's really over?
No, there's always more. Keep your guard up.
Astral energy. Watch out! They've got something up their sleeve!
What?
It self-destructed?
Alphen!
I'm okay. Just a little roughed up.
You had me worried there.
Who said you could touch that?
Are you planning on stopping us, Volron? Did you see what happened last time you tried that? You want another helping?
Damn it! He's awake!
I should have thought as much. So you know this place? Naturally, it was built for me, after all. We'll save that for another time. More pressing is how I'm going to tear you apart. Even after all this time, you still insist on hating me? You cut me down. Sovereign or not, you will pay for that.
You're obviously bluffing. You can't even move right now.
Really, is that what you think? Did you really think that such a petty device could hold me?
Are you going to claim it's because you're a ruler? Be it sovereigns or lords. In the end, they're all titles given by someone else.
Plus, what kind of ruler would spend all his time chasing Alf, who happens to be another sovereign?
Idle prattle. I proved my worth and the Sovereign's powers were granted to me.
Were they really? We already know the title of Sovereign doesn't denote royalty. It is but an overblown codename for those with a designated part to play in these proceedings. You mentioned before that you were not the only one stolen from Dana, correct?
Yeah. There were countless. And every one of them besides me died.
All of those failed experiments, and they still kept going back to Dana. There must have been some vital reason their subject had to specifically be a Danan. Then there were the records we found in the library, for you and Volron. They were logged 300 years apart, and yet the data they took from you was exactly the same. Which leads us to a single conclusion.
Then you mean Boron was kidnapped just like Alphen? But then he became a
slave from Dana. Just like us. Isn't that right, Volron?
So he posed as a Renan and caused all that suffering to his own people?
But his eyes definitely glowed, did they not?
Being a slave? Why would you inflict that upon others?
Renan and Dana are meaningless distinctions. Me and everyone else. That is all that matters. I will stand above all others and take what is rightfully mine, starting with this.
A red woman?
Another one?
Give your master back on Rena this message. No one makes a fool of me. Let them know I'll make them suffer.
Don't do it!
Serenus Alva!
It's too late. You can't stay here.
We need to go. Alphen!
your shadow no matter where you try to run.
Let's go.
Never forget, I am the one who devours everything, who answers to neither spirit nor man. My word is law. I am.
Are you two okay?
Hey.
We'll be
Oh,
fine.
that was
Is Volron... Have we finally seen the last of him?
We can but hope.
Those red women. What the heck was their deal?
Could they be the ones behind all this? The same ones who put those soldiers in Faria in a trance?
What? Those brainless things? Either way, they've done a runner with the Renaissance. Damn it, that's the second time now!
Whatever's stolen from us, we'll steal it back. The future's ours to protect. And right now, those things are what's standing in our way. We can head them off at Rena.
Did you say Rena?
Volron mentioned a master of theirs holed up in the motherland somewhere.
If that monstrous form's their true identity, I shudder to think who they take orders from.
Yeah. There's a good chance it's not human. That's for sure.
So this thing over on Rena, that's what's really behind all this, huh?
They have the Renaissance in their grasp already, so it's unlikely they'll have cause to return to Dana. I agree that Rena's our best shot.
Then we're agreed. Let's head back to the starship.
Oh, there's more.
Seriously, I was not expecting Volron to actually be here.
He seemed to care not one whit about Renans or Danans.
Yeah, and not in a good way like with us.
No, he didn't care. Now, are you gonna unlock my fast travel point, or am I gonna have to do this all over? Don't worry, I'm not gonna rant this time. I'm gonna just leave it be. Just going to silently be angry on the way back. Wait, what was even the point of the healing thing? We didn't even use it. Or did we? Oh yeah, because she hadn't got hit in the face. Oh yeah, because of the red women. I don't even know how she died. They didn't even do much. They sucked. They sucked so much I actually had forgotten about them. Oh. Oh, there's a story beat here. Can I get past? No. Oh well, alright. I think I need something from these guys probably.
No further.
Ha! And you fell into it too. You little idiot. Thanks, Zolheim. Don't worry, little puppy. You're coming next. You'll be joining your little master in Oblivion. I hate how I'm still constantly hitting them. What? You want to try something? Failure. Now pay the price.
Blow them away!
I've been doing really great lately.
This way. Civilian Park Zone. That would explain why the star was actually shown.
What the? When did it get pitch dark all of a sudden?
That's not a good thing.
Think it has something to do with the explosion back in the Forbidden Zone?
Doe?
You two.
Faria, Avakir. Thank goodness you're safe.
Avakir filled me in about everything. About how I ambushed you all.
She doesn't remember a thing, so she really was being controlled.
He told me about Tarnigan, too. Is it true?
What difference does it make? What's done is done.
Stop casting me off, just for once!
Faria, not now. It can wait. Dohalim, Lenegis is in grave peril.
So I can see.
It's the city's core reactor. It's damaged. Some of the basic systems we've managed to keep online, but complete restoration's still a way off.
You're an elite technician, though. You can fix it, right?
If so, then what's the problem?
Panic's begun to set in among the citizens. Until now, whenever something like this happened, the Sovereign would issue a decree. But this time, not so much as a peep. Any longer and we run the risk of riots breaking out before we can get things back up and running.
Forget the Sovereign. I doubt you'll be hearing from him anytime soon.
What's that supposed to mean? Do you know something I don't?
Suffice it to say, the Sovereign isn't the kind of ruler we thought he was. That is, if he ever even existed, which is looking doubtful at this stage.
Are you out of your mind? Why, if people knew that a lord such as yourself was whispering such blasphemy, they'd—
There's no time to explain now. It sounds like we need to find a way to keep Lenegis from spiraling out of control.
We need to stop that riot.
But how do we do that?
Riots feed on discontent and unrest, right? So if we want to keep the peace, we just need to put people's minds at ease.
At ease? Like by letting them hear directly from someone they trust. That's it. Who's the highest-ranking person in Lenegis right now?
Lenegis wouldn't have a next in line. After all, you said the Sovereign rules over everyone directly, right?
Correct. The closest thing to an authority figure would be a lord. And the only one left is... Ah. Very well then. Avakir, you mentioned a few facilities were still online. Which ones?
Why hasn't the Sovereign said anything?
Please, won't somebody explain what's going on?
Is it over? What's going to happen to all of us?
Heed me now, fellow Renans of Lenegis. It is I, Lord Dohalim Ilkaris of Eldaman and Sia.
Look, up there! It's Lord Dohalim!
Hold on! He should be in the crown contest! Shouldn't he? Why isn't the Sovereign talking to us?
The Sovereign is seeing to other matters right now. In my capacity as Lord, I speak to you in his stead. You're afraid, as people so often are when faced with the unknown. I hope you'll allow me to put your fears to rest. The city's core reactor has experienced a malfunction. However, we have our top engineers attending to the matter, and things will soon be back to normal. I know that you feel abandoned, perhaps more scared and alone than ever before. But I ask you all to keep one thing in mind. You are Lenegis, not the Lords and Sovereign. The solidarity of its citizens is the mortar that holds it together. If we don't allow ourselves to be distracted by our differences, if we put our hearts and minds together and stand as one, I am confident we will find new hope. I would be honored to stand with you. Not as a person of loftier rank, but as another human being among many. I hope that you'll lend me your strength, for if we can persevere as one, I know a bright tomorrow awaits.
Well done, Dolim. Good job.
Your speech seems to have done the trick. Looks like the city won't be descending into chaos after all.
I only pray the relief will tide the city over for the time being.
What you said earlier, about the Sovereign possibly not even existing, was it true?
It's still too premature to say with any certainty, but I believe so. This whole time, this world we've been fed was a lie, built on nothing but falsehoods.
But it can't all have been...
I can believe it. After everything I saw in the Forbidden Zone, what they did to Faria, it's the only explanation that makes sense.
But what about hierarchy, Avakir? Authority? The very foundations of Renan society? How can we live without someone to guide us?
I'd say we found someone capable of doing just that, wouldn't you?
You? You can't be serious.
I have business I must take care of first. But once everything is over, I shall return. But not as your sovereign, nor as a leader the likes of which the people here are used to, I think.
But how else do you propose to rule?
I'm not sure yet. All I have is a feeling that here in Lenegis, a new dawn is on the verge of breaking. One in which people won't be judged by birthright or on the power of their astral arts, but on other things. More important things. Things like, oh, I don't know, musical talent, for example.
When I bumped into you after all those years, I said you were no different. But I was wrong. Truth is, you were always different. I feel like maybe now I can finally begin to accept Tarnigan's death. To see a future.
You go finish whatever it is you've got to do. I'll hold down the fort here in Lenegis till you get back.
Thank you.
I guess you're not going to make it to Menancia for the foreseeable future, huh?
Indeed. Forgive me.
The people of Elda Menancia can look after themselves just fine. It's the ones here on Lenegis who need someone to guide them. Besides, with you leading the people here, it'll help spread the idea of coexistence beyond Menancia's borders that much faster.
Sounds like you're in it for the long haul.
How could I not be, after the second chance that I've been granted? From this day forth, I shall dedicate myself to the future inhabitants of this world. Though the memories of the departed shall remain forever in my heart.
Remember, you're going to be leading the people here, not ruling them.
Kind of the same. Just, I get what you mean. There's a slight difference.
With or without her, I suspect
you're guiding, not telling them exactly what they need to do with an iron fist.
We should be heading back to the ship. Business on Rena awaits.
Teaching, learning, and then letting them become their own. Kind of like going to school. Well, no. School doesn't follow the principles like it should. Oh, another easier perfect evading. Oh, and another improved. I think I have enough to cover these, but what does it give? Defense. Being how he, I should have got his astrology mobility. I forgot about it.
People of Lenegis can rest easy.
I couldn't have done it without your words of encouragement, Law.
Hey, you're the one who made the speech.
I think everybody can share the credit here.
Never talk to the lady again, eh? No, I'm not gonna. I'm still thinking about the log fast travel points. Not even gonna complain about it. I've said my piece. Oh, come on. You can't make that jump? Pathetic, Law. You need to work harder. I mean, that's our goal. Oh, there isn't any fast travel points between here and there. That was the only one. And it's actually still locked off. Like, what? Wow. That's the only one. That's a little odd. Don't you think there would be more fast travel points in Lenegis? Like, specifically where the ship is? Like they treated this entire area as a dungeon.
I thought we'd find answers on Lenegis, but we just ended up finding more questions.
You can say that again. And now we have more problems to fix too. Like figuring out how to reform Lenegis.
Oh, there's only one more place to go.
I can wait for now. We've got more than enough on our plates to deal with as it is. Like figuring out who's really running the show on Rena.
Yeah. Which is why we're going to the Renan homeworld.
All the answers we've been looking for are on that planet. The person responsible for all this. The Red Woman and the Renaissalma. The answers have to be there. Are we prepared to finally find them?
I thought we were already established on the fact that we were.
First when we get there.
Like, I didn't even expect the game to still have more content. I'm not playing though.
We should get a feel for how things are on the ground before we take any serious steps.
It's also entirely possible that the first thing we're going to face is an attack.
If we come across a capital, we should... What?
You want to fight that bad? They're trying to mess with our ship. Where did it warp us to? That's the real question. Because they really are trying to get rid of us. That means they really find us a threat. You don't work that hard to get rid of something unless you really think it's a threat. Put us back on Dana?
Damn! The hell just happened?
Our course has been altered. The coordinates are pointing to a different destination.
What's that?
The ship's controls aren't accepting my commands. The engine is being shut down.
That's bad, right?
Quite bad. We've lost control of the ship.
Is all of this the Red Women's doing?
Are they trying to finish us off before we can land?
Everyone! Look there!
Well, what is it? Looks like Rena. That's not a planet. That's either a ship or an asteroid. This looks like a rock. That looks like a lot of dark astral energy. Fired through Lenegis and into Dana through the wedge. That doesn't look like a good thing. They reactivated the wedge. Huh.
A flower blooming out of Rena?
But that flower looks like it's absorbing all of Dana's energy.
And it appears Lenegis is serving as a conduit for that energy to reach here. Could that have been its true purpose all along?
If that's true, do you think the people back on Lenegis are all right?
We can only pray that they are.
Damn it! Haven't they taken enough already? When is this going to end?
The flower of Oblivion.
With everything that's happening, we need to get back to Lenegis. Is the ship still offline?
Unfortunately, yes. Even more so than when it lay dormant.
Can you fix it?
Starships are extremely complex machines. One wrong move while we're out here in space could very well cost us our lives.
Can you fix it?
For what? We're just stuck inside here, floating around? For how long?
I don't believe this. We've made it all this way, and now we're stuck here? We're watching Dana die before our eyes, and we have no choice but to sit here and starve to death?
Law, calm down! You're not the only one who's worried here.
Right. Sorry.
It's still too early to give up. There has to be a way to get out of this.
Alphen.
Now what?
The starship, it's back online?
No, this is different. Something is pulling our ship in towards it.
I mean, I'm just ready to call them cowards because they clearly don't want to face us. So they try to cast us aside and disable our ship so that we can't fight them.
We managed to get moving, but where are we?
It looks like Lenegis in here.
Do you think we might run into more Renans here? Or those red women?
Perhaps. Someone brought us here. The question is, who?
We haven't been ambushed, so that probably means they aren't hostile. Still, why would anyone want to bring us here?
Hey, Shion!
If they wanted to attack us, they could have done so while we were back on the starship. We should see where this path takes us.
I don't want to. Yeah, any time. It's like another, it's another dungeon, isn't it? Probably not a dungeon. It's another dungeon, isn't it? Unfortunately, I don't have time for this. I gotta get some sleep so that I can actually be functional tomorrow. I'm putting down carpet and stuff in this area. I'm gonna need my energy. It's 6 a.m. and I need to be up roughly around 12. So don't sleep now. It's not gonna be a fun day. Who am I kidding? It's not gonna be a fun day anyway. It's just a waste of time. It's just annoying because it's like, yo, dude, come on. I was so looking forward to just going Arena. I was gonna stop there. Because then I'd be in a place I'd be happy with, but now we're here. Usually what would happen if it was a thing like this, I'd call it and then I would just do another episode, but it's I can't. But I can get food. But that aside, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, this one's, I mean, it was alright. There was a lot of story, like a lot of story. So much so I don't feel like I played the game. So what we had, I don't even know at this point. My brain is like going numb from the fact that I've been waiting to do something. I was only trying to get through it so I could do something. It's not that it's not bad. Like, the story's been fine. It's just, it's a lot of story out of this 2.5 hours. I feel like I've only played like roughly like 25 to 30 minutes of it. The rest of it was just story, cutscenes, talking, which I can't say that I had the funnest time. I can't, because I don't feel like I did anything. Which is okay in some context. It's just, I feel like I just sat here and watched a movie instead of play the game. The fights were at least fun. I had fun kicking them all in the face. But that's it. The dungeons weren't even interesting. There was good story beats though, like Volaron still being there. He has really big issues. So does that make Volaron Danon? Because it seems, I'm pretty sure I remember Volaron's eyes glowing, and that is a definitely a Renin only trait, and it has astral arts, and he definitely had astral arts, which even Alvin doesn't have. So I don't. That's a. I don't know about that one. I know this is gonna get really good or really annoying. It's gonna be one of the two things. Once we got to that area and we went to Lenegis, I just expected, there to be more action, more adventure. Like, that dungeon was really empty. Like, that whole area was really empty. Like, it was really empty. Like, there was not that many enemies there. Even on the way back, I got in, one battle, and the other one I just dodged. There's like 3 groups of enemies. It's really not much. Usually when you go through a dungeon, they are packed full of enemies, like everywhere you turn. It was rather sparse, which was a little underwhelming because it was just a lot of open space. But at least we know Sovereign really just does not have a meaning. They're literally just like a part of some grand scheme. But there is no Sovereign. There's a ruler of some kind, but not what we would think. It's more like a manipulator, one that's just doing things from the shadows at this point, pretending to be a Sovereign, but still like able to grant power or whatever not, which is weird. I'm wondering how this is gonna unfold, and that's the thing that bothers me the most. I'm gonna have to wait until like 10 o'clock tomorrow. Alright, well, that's it. That's how it is. Anyway, no, I'd say it was okay. I won't say I had fun because then I would be lying. I didn't really have all that much fun, honestly. I was just I was waiting to, be able to play the game, and I felt like I didn't actually get to play the game today. Which is, it's okay. The story was at least interesting, other than the sap fests that happened, and, but seeing the past and all the extra bells and stuff that happened, the curse, its bloodline descended from, I guess, whatever they were planning, which means that I'm pretty sure the Rena homeworld is actually trying to release that same destructive energy just all over and just destroy things, but I'm pretty sure it would destroy them too, so I don't understand what they're up to. Well, I don't know how much we have left because this game doesn't seem to want to end. Which is fine by me. I mean, I'm fine with more gameplay. Like, that's great. I'm tired of games that I am able to just finish in like 3 days because they're just short and they're $60. No, this game is actually this game has had enough content that I feel like I could get my money's worth from the game. But I have other issues with the game that we're not going to get into here because that is all the time we have for this episode of Tales of Arise. Yeah, if you like this episode, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all on the next episode.